back to the Craft Castle. I am back with a follow-up video for my initial video of the Xtool screen printing machine. Now, let's just press pause real quick on the second follow-up video. And let's talk about unboxing videos. Unboxing videos for me are straight up, I have done zero research. It's new to me and I have no idea what I'm doing, which is just like any other crafter. We get a new something, we want to play, and we may be using it wrong, who knows, but we're just trying to figure it out on the way. I love doing unboxing videos because it shows that hopefully eventually after the end of the video I will have something final and made, which we did, right? That entire unboxing video we ended up getting something that looked like this with the music note, and then you're not going to be able to see it, but we did get that glow in the dark. However, during that unboxing video I talked a lot about this bar. Like, we never found out where this bar was supposed to go. The settings to use on the D1, I had no idea. And why in the world did this thing keep falling out? So those are things a brand new user like myself and you were probably in the same boat that we were missing, right? So I'm doing the follow-up video because I've learned some things. And I think that if I share what I've learned to you, you'll actually really love this thing because I'm sold. But I haven't even gotten to my second thing, but like now that I know what I was doing was wrong, I'm sold. So two things. First, my screen should have never been this loose. The reason why this thing kept falling out is because this thing is loose. Not only, here's the second part, not only is it loose, I installed this wrong. So I'm going to show you how to do it properly. I had asked my husband, I said, this is not right. Please help me. And he goes, because you did it wrong. So this is what the screen is actually supposed to look like. Nice and tight, no movement. I'm going to show you how to properly install the screen into the frame. The other thing, this thing right here, this actually goes on that laser cutter, the D1. Why? So you put this, and we'll get into that in a minute, but you put this underneath the D1, and these little like things that pop up, it hooks on to here. So you know those screen print machines that, you know, the commercial ones where there's multiple colors and multiple screens? This thing right here helps center your frames so you can have the ability to do multiple colors. Now, I am not going to be doing a multiple color screen print today just because I'm still trying to work out all the kinks for myself. Hopefully, eventually I figure it out, but just know, they actually make it pretty easy with this like framing tool. The other thing I talk a lot about in that unboxing video is my unsureness of what engrave settings I should be using with the D1. I mean, clearly the settings that I used worked, right? I had 2 engraved screen prints that I was able to use to do this. And I mean, these still let's just take a pause here. Even though my screen was not put in correctly, even though I didn't even know the correct settings to use with my laser engraver, I still ended up getting something that looked really cool. There is zero bleeding. There is, I mean, this thing is crisp as can be. It looks like it's one with the fabric. I'm impressed. So for somebody who clearly didn't do things correctly, I still got something finished. Now, what do you think our finished product today is going to end up looking like? Now that I know how to frame my screen prints, properly install a screen print frame, and engrave on the correct settings with the D1, what do you think our finished products are going to look? I think they're going to look way better than what we had in the unboxing. This is why it's so crucial to just play. Open it up, experiment a little bit, get a little frustrated, then do a little bit more research and tweak, and then hopefully we end up getting something absolutely fabulous, right? All right. Okay, so why don't we just get started? We're going to get into it. First things first, I'm going to show you how to properly install this screen because I feel like this is going to be key to the success of our screen print transfers. The materials that you're going to need to assemble your screen is just like the unboxing video. You're going to need a frame, you're going to need a screen, 2 long shafts like these, and then 1 smaller one. In the unboxing video, I installed the screen like this, and that's actually wrong. We want to install the screen like this, putting the cardboard inside of our frame. So just like that. The other thing too is you want to pull these tight. So I'm just gonna lay this in here. You might have to do this in multiple rounds. Then what you want to do is make sure that all of these clamps are open, just like that. Even the ones down here at the bottom are open. We're gonna lay this in, center the cardboard inside of our mat. Now we're gonna pull tight, so I'm just gonna leave it just like this, in same way that we installed it. So it's gonna be like this. We're gonna put it inside the channel and roll it in there. Okay, before I clamp them, what I'm going to do is go to the other side. We are pulling tight, and what I found is easiest is you see that channel right there? That is where these shafts are going to go. So what I like to do is kind of pulling and tucking this masking tape portion in. I'm going to push this in, the channel, and roll it down and pushing down. See how much tighter that is? We haven't even pulled these down yet. Okay, going to this side where you have the pieces, doing the same thing. We're gonna pull tight and also push down in that masking tape. Taking this, we're gonna put that in the channel and press down into it. Now that we have all 3 in there, we are just gonna pull this tight. So pull the handles downwards. Okay, doing the same for the very bottom. All right, now remember when I went to turn this over in the unboxing video, these were falling out. Now these things are stuck in there. We are not getting this out at all. I'm gonna shake this out. It is tight on there. And look at the difference of how tight this screen is versus what I had. So this is the one we just did. And this was that original one from the unboxing. What a difference. This is nice and tight. This is definitely not. And also, they fall out. So clearly we did not do it correct the very first time in that unboxing video. Okay, so let's talk about this bar that's right here. We never figured out where this was supposed to go. Well, I can tell you now that we are wanting to put it underneath these feet on your left. So just like that and just like that. That way, it's gonna click on there so it's not going to move. But then there is those little hooks that I'm telling you about. We can put this. Now our screen is in place. So if you wanted to multiple color engravings, you could do that because now it's completely stuck right here. So this right here is the guide to make sure that every single time you do an engraving on your screen print, it is going to be nice and straight. Now we're ready to engrave our screen print. So I've turned on the Xtool and it's plugged in. We're ready to go. So the very first thing is I actually found this. I actually think this is really cute. We're getting ready to go into Christmas. I love this. I found this clip art off of Creative Fabrica. Now the very first thing I want to know is this left side is the left side of our screen print. So right here. The thing that I have figured out is you want the top of your SVG file to be at the bottom of your screen print. The reason for that is we are putting it in upside down. We're putting the screen on the correct way, but your shirts are going in upside down. So you want to make sure that your SVG file that you've created is going to the right. So at the bottom of your screen print. So I'm just going to rotate this 90 degrees. The other thing too is that we are engraving on the back side of the screen print. So if you were to leave it the way it is, what happens is when we go to screen print this, our screen print is going to be backwards. So everything is going to be backwards. So for right now, And it actually tells you right here, we want to reflect this horizontally. So you just want to go into reflect and horizontally. So at the time of this recording, what you're supposed to do is go over here into the material and find the screen print material. Now, again, at the time of this recording, it is not on there. So what I'm going to do is selecting my SVG file. I'm going to put in these manual settings, 160 speed with 100 lines per centimeter. My gal over at Xtool, her name's Heidi, those are the settings that she told me are perfect for this. If you were to have clicked on the material list and already chosen the screen print, your settings would already be preloaded, so you wouldn't have to do that. Okay, the very next thing I want to do is frame this. We always want to frame it. So I'm going to come over here to frame. We're going to press that button on the Xtool just to frame it. Now I'm going to make my print just a little bit smaller. It's big. It's going to cover the entire thing. I don't know if it's too large though. So let me go into frame complete and I'm just going to make this just a little bit smaller. Okay, so I have it centered on my project mat. Everything that is the white is what is going to be our screen. Okay, let's go back into framing again. And then we're going to press that button. Okay, so I have it completely framed. You will notice that I took out these stilts right here. I don't think we need them. I have properly spaced my head to the material. Now, the very next thing I'm going to do, because I'm afraid that the laser is going to also engrave on my work table, all I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that, you know, these come on this screen print. All I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my screen print up. I'm going to slide that piece of cardboard inside the screen. It's not connected to the screen. It's just laying out underneath that. There we go. So when I'm engraving, if it's going to engrave on anything, at least it'll engrave on just that cutting board or that cardboard. Okay, so what you want to do now is just do frame complete. We've already done all the steps. I've taken it over to the right. I've also mirrored it. I've already created my settings, and then I'm just going to press process. Now, fingers crossed that this works the same time as the first time. You always you're like second guessing. Did I do it right? Did I not? Fingers crossed, we got this. All right, now let's press the go button. All right. Woof. Two things to note. First and foremost, thank goodness that there is a flame detection on the Xtool. That is a great safety feature to have. Holy cow. The other thing is these settings that they gave me 100% are not what I would think is what it needs to be. Let's turn our machine back on. I'm just going to press confirm and then just press OK. Okay, so I don't think that those settings that they gave me were correct, which is crazy great. You know what? I'm just going to go back to what worked with us the last time, and that was the setting power of 50 and the speed of 80. Now let's see what happens when we change it over to 80. We're just going to press process and then press start, and let's fingers crossed that everything works out well. We're just going to press start. And I'm going to turn on my air assist fan and then press the start button. I'm going to put my safety goggles on. You want to put these on because you can see the blue light that's coming off of that laser. I'm going to keep my hand up here just so I don't burn my eyeballs. Okay, so the settings that we have right now look fabulous. It stinks in here. This, I definitely would use the D1 outside or in like a more open space than what I have in my craft room. My craft room is really large, but it's not, I don't know, it still kind of stinks in here. My windows are open back here. The other thing too, which is something that I found out. Remember when I said in the unboxing video that I was unsure that you technically didn't need the D1 to do that. I was reading all of their information that they gave me, and it's true. You definitely don't need the D1 to do the screen printing. You can use any laser to screen print this or to engrave the screen prints. However, that nifty framing bar that we have that like holds the frame in, that won't go or carry over with any other machine. So there is a benefit to having the D1 because that particular bar was made for the D1. All right, I am going to let this machine go, and I'll see you in a little bit when it's completely done engraving. Okay, I've decided that I am going to take this machine out to outside my garage to finish and do a whole new screen print because it's stinking up my room. It's not open air enough, so I'm gonna go and do that, and then I'll be back. The settings I used are clearly perfect. We are getting a really good engraving, and look, I put it outside, and so I don't have to be bothered by the smoke anymore. And honestly, with it being outside, you can't smell a thing. Nothing fancy here. I just wanted to show you my current setup. I just have my laptop and the D1 just doing the engraving. It's almost finished. The screen print is done engraving, and it took about 1 hour and 14 minutes to complete this entire thing. Now that it's done, it looks absolutely amazing. Let's take it back to the craft room and let's get to screen printing. Okay, so we have a finished screen. This is what it looks like when it's all finished. It's going to be backwards for you, but that's fine because we are going to put it onto the screen, and when we flip it over, it'll look forwards to us. Now, these brackets right here are going to go into the screen machine like that. These right here will get pushed down and tight. Okay, my screen is nice and tight. See that? This is so much better than the other day. When we unboxed this screen print the other day, we had the wooden magnetic board right here, and then we have this like cutting mat. I wasn't entirely sure what this cutting mat is for. I still don't know what this cutting mat's for. However, I think that I'm going to keep it on there just so it protects my wooden board because I definitely don't want it to get messed up with the paint. Now, I am going to use that canvas bag that we used for the unboxing when we did those two small little ones. I'm going to use the back side of this, and all I'm going to do is slip this on. There is like a gap in between here. I'm going to slip this on. Now this bag is like going to be tight to put on. Okay, so this is going to look okay. So I'm going to push this down. See how you can lift this up? I'm going to push this down. There is a knob over here on the right. I'm just going to tighten that. And now when I take my hands off of the screen print, it's nice and stuck on there. Okay, so remember when we set up our engraving, the top is over here and the bottom is over here. The problem is the bag that I'm getting ready to use, the opening is over here. So that means that my engraving is going to be upside down. However, we did set this up to do it on a shirt. So when I put the shirt in, it's gonna go like this. The top of the shirt's gonna be right here, meaning it's going to be perfect on, it's gonna be facing the correct way. So just know that the orientation of where you put your garment is going to matter on where your engraving is. Now I do have to say, it is not hard if you put your engraving upside down or wrong. It is not hard to take off these things and reframe your screen print facing the way that you need to. So if I wanted to, I could take this screen off, reface it, and so it would go the correct way. Now I'm not going to, because this bag, we've already done something on the other side that's not cute. This is just a test to make sure that it's going to look really cute. Okay, I'm gonna use black ink for this. All right, what you wanna do, the same thing that we did in the unboxing video, we're gonna slap on some paint, enough to cover the entire image. That's probably way too much. I just want to make sure that I have enough. Okay, so I am going to set this over. Now here is our squeegee. I put it on the back. It has that magnetic thing. Okay, so I'm going to push down because there is a little bit of give here. I'm going to push down. I'm going to take my squeegee and I'm going to go in one swift motion. I'm going to go down. Okay, I'm gonna go up and let's go back down again. Okay, I'm gonna scrape off all this excess paint. Just gonna put it back on my screen. Okay, I am just going to hook this to the back just like that. I put the edge of the wet paint above so it doesn't touch anything. Now, in the directions it did say you're supposed to wait like 10 minutes, but you know, I'm Ashley Falco and I don't wait and I don't have the patience for anything. So I'm just going to unhook my knob and lift up. Look, oh my, remember it's gonna be upside down, but holy cow. Look at this. Do you see this? Oh my goodness. This is the crispest. This is so crisp. Look at how crisp that is. Holy cow. Wow. And it's nice and even. This right here is freaking phenomenal. Okay, so it says to wait 24 to 48 hours to dry fully, but like, I just cannot believe that. We made that. So now you can reuse this screen for other things. You could do a shirt. You could do more bags if you wanted to. Look at that. That's freaking amazing. All right, so how cool is this screen print machine? Do we love this? I love this. I'm already so stinking excited. This is my technically third print. I got that face mask and that music note on the back side of this. And then this is my next print. This ended up so amazing. It looks so freaking good. I love it. I'm obsessed already. I can't wait to continue to play. I need to learn how to make a multicolor screen print. That's my next thing that I need to make. All right, y'all. I sure hope I inspired you to create, and I'll see you later.